on Fox 14.
Here's some of what's heading your way tonight on your News at 9.
Doctors expect to see an increase in COVID-19 cases after the Thanksgiving holiday. I'm Zach Dodge with what they're doing to prepare, coming up.
Health experts voice concern about holiday travel and what that will mean for COVID cases. I'm Kate Kelly with details just ahead.
Doug Eddy has your forecast. Jacob Leonard's got sports. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Warner. Healthcare professionals anticipate a spike in COVID cases following the Thanksgiving holiday. KOAM's Zach Dodge has what they're doing now to prepare for a surge in cases and hospitalizations.
After Thanksgiving gatherings and Black Friday shopping, doctors expect to see more hospitalizations from COVID-19 as it continues to spread in the community.
We saw a bit of a spike following Halloween, so that just leads us to believe that obviously Thanksgiving probably will see a definite increase.
Following Halloween, Mercy Hospital saw an increase from 34 hospitalizations up to 50 in a 2-week period. And a month later, that number was still above 30.
You know, Christmas is right on the heels of Thanksgiving, so I don't anticipate that the numbers will decrease.
At Freeman Hospital, they've already seen a few new hospitalizations since Thanksgiving, though it's hard to know for sure if they were from the holiday, since they normally start seeing surges between 5 and 14 days after. So they're getting prepared for a notable increase now.
We currently are increasing the number of rooms that we have dedicated to COVID. Then we have to make sure that we have the proper equipment, the proper monitoring for patients that we would need to put in there.
Doctors say the best way to protect others if you were in a high-risk situation over the weekend is to do what they've been saying for months now. Wear a mask, wash your hands, and social distance.
We're on the short end of this. We know it's going to continue for a while, but we've fought the good fight all of these months. Just continue, stay vigilant.
In Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
As of Sunday, there were 95 area residents hospitalized at Joplin hospitals. That includes at Freeman, Mercy, and Landmark. Doug Eddy joining us now with the first check of the forecast. It is cold outside, Doug.
Yeah, it definitely is, Chris. Temperatures have been chilly really all day long as we have really kind of struggled to warm up. We started at 24, 42 for a high. Our average high is 52. But hey, at least we have the sunshine. We still have clear skies for us right now. In fact, we're going to have clear skies throughout the overnight hours tonight. Next storm system is building out across the northern parts of the Rockies, and that will start to affect us by Wednesday. But at least tonight, we have clear skies, upper 20s. We'll drop back into lower 20s. It does look better for tomorrow. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thank you. KOAM's Kate Kelly spoke with a Seneca woman who changed her Thanksgiving plans due to the pandemic. Kate has her story and the CDC's recommendations for testing if you did travel for the holiday.
Susan says she only shops where she knows she can safely socially distance, checking out a large flea market and Neosho. For her, the pandemic is personal.
Both of my in-laws did have COVID, and my father-in-law did pass away from it last week. So it kind of, it's very serious, and so I'm just trying to kind of keep my distance,
Rather than getting together with extended family over Thanksgiving, she kept things small.
We just decided it was best to just stay home and stay put.
Health officials are urging people to stay home throughout the holiday season, trying to prevent another surge in cases. Many travelers disregarded CDC guidelines, flocking to airports and hitting up highways to get home for Thanksgiving. Now we may pay the price.
The holiday travel has been a concern for health professionals across the United States. People traveling to other areas of the country where they might be exposed to the virus and then bring that virus back home to their home community.
The incubation period for COVID-19 is 2 to 14 days. Bergner says that if there's a spike from Thanksgiving, we'll start seeing it in about 2 weeks. The CDC is recommending people get tested 3 to 5 days after traveling and that they quarantine for 7 days, even if that test comes back negative, just to be safe.
Most people tend to show symptoms by day 7. So to get tested within 3 to 5 days should, if you have the virus, should be a good time where it would show as a positive, but that's not always the case.
Susan says her family plans on staying home throughout the remainder of the holiday season. She wishes more people would do the same.
I guess it's just your own personal decision. Personally, I don't feel comfortable doing it, and I try not to really go too many places.
In Neosho, Kate Kelly, KOAM News.
Newton County says they have 412 active COVID cases, which is actually down from 500 active cases on November 22nd. Bergner says they hope to continue that downward trend, advising people who do plan on getting together to try to quarantine ahead of time to limit COVID exposure. And the Joplin Health Department reports 2 more coronavirus-related deaths. Officials say it was an 87-year-old woman and a 79-year-old man. Joplin has now had 62 total deaths. The Newton County Health Department is also reporting 2 deaths. Those patients were both women, one in her 70s and one in her 80s. Newton County has now had 49 total deaths. Joplin police tonight arrest 4 suspects in an armed robbery in the North Park Mall parking lot. Police say the suspects led officers on a chase. The chase ended with the arrest of 3 of the 4 suspects. The 4th suspect was later arrested at a home on East Zora.
We were notified by an individual that lives right here near the intersection of Zora and Rangeline that there was an individual hiding in her laundry room. Officers responded to that residence and did in fact find our last suspect, who was taken into custody without incident.
Officials say the investigation is ongoing. The Fort Scott City Commission held a special meeting tonight to select a new commissioner to fill a vacancy. Josh Jones has been selected to fill that open seat. The commission went through 3 rounds of deadlock voting on 2 candidates before they finally voted on a new commissioner. Joplin City officials held a strategic planning workshop today. Officials say the purpose of the workshop is to create a shared vision for Joplin's future that will excite and engage the community.
Staff clear and defined direction to say, here's where our heart is, here's where our passions are, here's where our vision is. Now you take this ball and run with it, bring us back some ideas on ways we might address these issues.
At the meeting, officials look at trends and issues in the community in order to establish priorities and develop a strategic framework. And we take this time now to honor one of our many 4-state heroes. Sergeant James Archer served with the Army during the Civil War from 1864 to 1865. His hometown, what was Tennessee Prairie, Kansas. And we are proud to recognize Sergeant James Archer, tonight's 4-state hero. Well, Doug is up next with a complete look at the forecast, and later in sports, we'll hear from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes following the team's big win against Tampa Bay yesterday.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a very cold day for us today, but hey, we had the sunshine, so that's always a plus, especially on a Monday, and a great time lapse. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, but clear skies are going to stick around for us through the overnight hours tonight, and still mostly sunny skies tomorrow. Warming up a little bit tomorrow, which is good. Rain and snow chances roll in Wednesday into Thursday. Also, Wednesday night, we'll do the winter forecast here on Fox 14 News at 9, then also KOAM News at 10. Plus, you can always go to my month-long blog and get my long-range forecast. That's at KOAMNewsNow.com. It's cold. Most of us, 28 to about 30, 31 degrees. We're still hanging on near freezing along and south of Interstate 44. And then everybody else is mainly sitting into the upper 20s. The winds were kind of brisk for us today. They have lightened up just a bit over the past couple hours, and you can see they're starting to shift out of the south, and that's what's going to help our temperatures warm up for us during the daytime hours tomorrow. 28, southerly winds are light, humidity is at 63%. We have clear skies, not much is going on here, and this is all behind the storm system that rolled through yesterday. That gave us a little bit of rain Saturday night and into Sunday morning. You can see this system wrapping up the eastern seaboard, but as you're on the backside, you get northerly winds, and that's why our temperatures were much cooler for us today. So you can see that whole storm system kind of wrapping up off toward the east, but you can also see our next storm system, which is dropping in. into the Pacific Northwest, northern parts of the Rockies, and that's the one that will start to affect us on Wednesday. Now, ahead of it, it looks fine. It's just going to be cold tonight. We drop back 23, 24 degrees, clear sky. So if you are getting up early, a very cold start, 24, and then our temperatures will warm through the 20s into the 30s, and then actually near 50 by noon, and then all the way up to about 55 during the afternoon. So it looks like a pretty good day. Tomorrow evening, we'll start to get some clouds increasing across the region. Those clouds will thicken up all night long into Wednesday morning. You can see our temperatures into the mid-30s. I think we'll warm into the mid-40s, but look at the rain advances in by the noon hour on Wednesday. Then we just get rain throughout the afternoon hours on Wednesday, where you see the pink and the blue that is mixing with some snow. Let's watch what happens Wednesday night. You can see it starts to switch over to snow across the region. Remember, our temperatures are going to be just above freezing, and then light snow into Thursday morning, then tapering off throughout the daytime hours, maybe even switching back over to a little bit of rain. The ground's going to be warm. I think most of us would be minor accumulations. So in the white, I'm going to say minor accumulations under an inch. But our northern and western counties do have a shot that you could pick up a little bit more. The heaviest, though, is going to stay off to our west out across central Kansas, where they can pick up 6 to 12 inches of snow. 55 tomorrow, 44 and rain Wednesday, and then a little rain-snow mix Wednesday night into Thursday morning.
Well, I'll definitely take a little bit of snow versus the 6 to 12 inches. Something is better than nothing, right?
Yeah, I agree. I'll take that.
Snow's good. Better nice.
Yes.
Doug, thank you so much. Well, KOAM's annual Toy Box campaign is underway, and for 32 years, KOAM has been partnering with you to give area kids in need a very Merry Christmas. And it's easy to do. You can buy a toy and then drop it off at one of our drop-off locations, or you can donate money during our Toy Box Tuesday telethon, and then we'll do the shopping for you. The first telethon is tomorrow on KOAM News at noon, 5, and 6. And if you want to donate a toy, you can find a list of drop-off locations on our website. All you have to do is just click on Toy Drop-Off on the banner at the top of the page. You can also click on that banner and donate money through our website at any time. Well, coming up, we'll take a look at the day's biggest consumer stories, including a landmark acquisition deal involving the S&P 500.
Help us rescue.
The chairman of the Federal Communications Commission is set to vacate his post on Inauguration Day. Ajit Pai, a Republican, has presided over the FCC for the last 4 years. Pai undid net neutrality rules, barring internet service providers from favoring certain online traffic. He also championed other deregulatory efforts. President-elect Joe Biden will choose a new Democratic leader for the agency. Pai is the first Asian American to chair the FCC. The one-year delay of the Tokyo Olympics has cost nearly $2 billion. Media reports out of Japan say the Games organizers are expected to formally report the full cost in December. The Olympics were supposed to take place earlier this year, but were delayed until next July due to the coronavirus. The entire cost of the Games is now estimated to be more than $12 billion. Airbnb and DoorDash plan to go public soon, Tesla to join the S&P 500 on December 21st, and Cyber Monday spending expected to be biggest shopping day of the year. Fox Business Network's Cheryl Casone has these stories and more in today's Fox Business Brief.
Gearing up for their Wall Street debuts, Airbnb and DoorDash are expected to roll out their initial public offerings this week. According to the Wall Street Journal, both companies are aiming for higher than expected valuations. Airbnb is planning to target a range of around $30 to $33 billion using a fully diluted share count that is greater than the $30 billion people close to the offering had expected. Meanwhile, DoorDash plans a range of around $25 to $28 billion. That is greater than the $25 billion originally expected. Well, speaking of Wall Street trading, market watchers are preparing for Tesla to join the S&P 500 on December 21st. Tesla, currently valued at $555 billion, would be the sixth most valuable company in the index. Since the announcement 2 weeks ago, the stock has soared more than 40%, making Elon Musk the second richest man in the world. Well, a landmark deal. Two of the largest providers of data for Wall Street could be merging. The Wall Street Journal says S&P Global is close to acquiring IHS Markit for about $44 billion. And it is Cyber Monday, traditionally the big holiday online shopping day of the year. Walmart is promising its best Cyber Monday savings to date, and Target has added flash sales this year. Though online business was strong on Black Friday, Adobe Analytics is predicting Cyber Monday will retain its place as the busiest online shopping day of the year, with shoppers expected to spend 35% more than a year ago. Well, for more, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm Cheryl Casoni.
Well, still ahead, the U.S. may soon have 2 COVID vaccines get authorized.
A second drug maker has submitted its coronavirus vaccine data to federal regulators. I'm Casey Stiegel in Texas. We'll have that story coming up.
The United Nations says the pandemic has pushed efforts to address AIDS infections further off track, and that goal had been set for this year are being missed. Now, they say they expect to see up to nearly 300,000 additional new HIV infections between now and the year 2022, and up to 148,000 more AIDS-related deaths. A new Danish study reveals the mental and physical health of recent divorcees is significantly worse than the general population. Researchers suggest a high level of conflict during the legal proceedings is a major factor contributing to the spouse's overall health. We could be getting a coronavirus vaccine sooner rather than later. Another major drug maker sends its data to federal regulators, but it won't come in time to stop a big surge expected after the holidays. Fox News correspondent Casey Stiegel has more from Arlington, Texas.
Almost 13.5 million confirmed cases in the U.S., and the new coronavirus surge is not slowing down. But on Monday, we got one step closer to a vaccine. Drug maker Moderna announcing their candidate has been submitted for FDA approval and could get the green light in as little as 2 weeks. The company says the vaccine is over 94% effective, and there have been no long-term negative side effects reported so far.
In terms of significant safety concerns, serious threats to our health, we've not seen any such concerns to date.
The military is now gearing up to help with the distribution process amid growing concerns about the safety of the supply chain. Some governors beefing up security in vaccine storage areas, while officials warning about possible tampering or theft.
We're working very closely with the pharmaceutical companies to ensure and protect that supply chain and to ensure the American public are safe.
Meanwhile, hospitalizations and deaths continue to spike, prompting a growing number of states to impose new restrictions. Here in North Texas, at least 15% of the hospital beds are being used to treat COVID patients, and healthcare providers say their resources are being stretched thin.
We're still in a marathon. We're not in a sprint. We have got to all work together to tamp this virus down.
Vice President Mike Pence speaking with nearly every governor in nearly every state on Monday to help coordinate the first shipments of the vaccine. That's the latest from Arlington, Texas. Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
Well, after the break, we're going to check out a festive new delivery to the Missouri Governor's Mansion. The Governor's Mansion Christmas tree arrived in Jefferson City this morning after making the journey from Desloge, Missouri. The tree is a 40-foot Norway spruce donated by Doris Baker, who says the tree became too big for her yard. That's a pretty big tree. The tree was hoisted up into the air by a large crane and was secured on the lawn by Missouri Office of Administration staff. The tree will be lit this Friday at 6 p.m. and due to COVID-19, the mansion's candlelight tours will be by reservation only. And it's Christmas time almost, so it's officially underway at the White House as well. First Lady Melania Trump unveiling this year's holiday decor. The theme? America the Beautiful. The First Lady says she wanted to pay tribute to the majesty of our great nation. The traditional Gold Star family tree can be spotted in the video, which includes a ribbon with the names of fallen service members. This year, the White House dedicated the Red Room to honor first responders and essential workers on the front line serving the communities during the coronavirus pandemic. And of course, another sign of the season, the annual Christmas tree going up at the Vatican. The nearly 100-foot red spruce tree was hoisted up by a crane today and placed in St. Peter's Square. This year's tree is 75 years old and came from a region in Slovenia known for its pine forest. A traditional nativity scene will also be installed outside St. Peter's Basilica, with a lighting ceremony to take place on December 11th following COVID-19 restrictions. The Vatican tree raising spirits in these challenging times as the world continues to deal with the coronavirus pandemic. We've got 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way.
As online shopping continues to increase during the holiday season, so does the potential of porch pirates. We speak with the Joplin Police Department on ways you can keep your packages safe. I'm Caitlin Shive. That's coming up.
President-elect Joe Biden announces key nominations for his economic team. I'm Ray Bogan with reaction to some of his choices coming up.
As online shopping continues to increase during the holiday season, there could also be an increase in porch pirates waiting to grab your packages from your front porch. KOAM's Caitlin Shive spoke with Joplin Police Department to give you some tips and advice to keep your packages safe this Christmas.
A porch pirate is a thief that steals packages right off your front porch. And as more people turn to online shopping while staying home due to the pandemic, package thefts are increasing.
Unfortunately, it is a common trend and a common practice, especially with the increase of online sales. We're starting to see more and more reports of these each and every year, and we expect this year to for the trend to continue.
The Joplin Police Department saw a slight increase in the number of larcenies from September to October this year, but say they are down in cases from this time last year.
Christmas time, they're going to seize on opportunities, and so this is about informing the public, and the more information you have, the better choices you can make.
However, they are worried that numbers will increase as deliveries for Christmas time start to come around.
We know there's going to be more deliveries happening to residences, so we're hoping that people will just heed the warnings and advice, and hopefully we'll see a decrease this year.
According to a study by Safewise.com, 67% of Americans say they shop online more since the pandemic started. Nearly 50% of Americans experienced package theft in the past year, and among those, over 75% happened during the pandemic.
If you can have your package delivered to a place of work, or to a relative's house, or even a neighbor's house, if you can make those arrangements, that's the best possible solution number one. If you can't do that, a lot of these major carriers will have the option for you to pick up an item. You can hold it for pickup at the counter.
Captain Davis says having any kind of security monitoring device for your home is also helpful in catching porch pirates if you fall victim to one.
Anything you can do to secure your home and make yourself be more safe, we're absolutely 100% behind.
In Joplin, Caitlin Shive, KOAM News.
Now, requiring a signature for packages is also a good tip to avoid falling victim to a porch pirate. Well, no porch pirates in Pittsburgh as they held their annual Christmas parade today, though it was different from years past. In order to follow pandemic public health guidelines, organizations and vendors had stations set up around Lincoln Park while residents drove by them.
Santa is definitely my favorite part. Like anybody that's a kid at heart, but really to see the community come out as a whole, having a great time, and enjoying the Christmas season, and the fact that we got great weather tonight for it.
Attendees were not allowed to walk by the floats, just drive by. Well, the Baxter Springs Chamber of Commerce announced their Christmas parade is canceled. The parade was scheduled for this Saturday, December the 5th. A new development in the certification process of the 2020 election as President Trump continues his refusal to concede. President-elect Joe Biden and his team are keeping their focus on the economy this week and announcing key nominations to his cabinet. Fox News correspondent Ray Bogan reports.
This concludes the official canvass of the November 3rd, 2020 general election.
Arizona's top elected officials have certified their election results. It's the latest state to confirm Joe Biden's victory after legal challenges from President Trump. But the Biden-Harris transition team wasn't waiting. The president-elect and vice president-elect are receiving their first presidential daily briefing. They're also assembling their economic team, including nominating Janet Yellen for Treasury Secretary.
Janet Yellen, sort of a centrist at Treasury, but there's a lot of positions remaining to be filled. Joe Biden has a lot of progressives that he has to satisfy.
Yellen is receiving bipartisan praise. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she has discipline, determination, and dazzling track record of success. The top Republican on the House Financial Services Committee lauded Yellen's, quote, intellect, foresight, and independence. But not everyone may have an easy time getting confirmed by the Senate. Neera Tanden, who's been picked to lead the Office of Management and Budget, is not liked by both Republicans and progressives.
It's going to be hard for Joe Biden to please everyone. That's within his own party, progressives and moderate centrists, and of course Republicans. And there are going to be some that are going to have very difficult time, like Neera, being confirmed.
The Biden transition also has review teams inside departments and agencies. That now includes one at the Department of Justice. Ray Bogan, Fox News.
A bit later, pointing the finger.
Tensions are escalating in the Middle East after Iran blames Israel for assassinating its top nuclear scientist. I'm Greg Palcott in London. That's my story. Coming up.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a cold day for us today, but hey, we had the sunshine. It's Monday, so it's better than a cloudy Monday, but a great time-lapse Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Seneca, Missouri, you can see nice shots of the sun setting throughout the evening hours and the moon rising as well. Indigo Sky Casino and Resorts, our live tower cam for you, time-lapse throughout the day. So what's going to happen? We are actually going to warm up tomorrow, which is great. We got rain moving in Wednesday, most likely switching over to snow Wednesday night into Thursday. We're going to do the winter forecast right here on Wednesday night. Plus, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMnewsnow.com. Temperatures, they're cold out there. Most of us are sitting 27 to about 30 in Chanute, 27 in Miami, 29 in Neosho. Lamar is sitting at 28 degrees, but at least the winds aren't near as strong as what we had earlier. It just made it feel colder than what it actually was. You can see they're actually kicking out of the south now. Those will increase, and as they do so, that's going to help our temperatures warm up for us tomorrow. 28 southwest winds, 5 to 10 at the airport in Joplin. Humidity is at 63%. We have clear skies. We're going to stay with clear skies throughout the overnight hours behind the storm system that gave us rain yesterday. And on the backside of a system, you get northerly winds. That's why we were so much colder today than what we did see over the past couple days. And you can see that whole upper level low tracking up the eastern seaboard, but also look out toward Billings, Montana. There's our next storm system, and that is the system that is going to drop in on Wednesday. Ahead of it, we're going to be fine. It's just going to be cold tonight. Most of us will drop back to about 22 to 24 degrees. So a cold start if you're getting up early, but a quick warm up. Those south winds will pick up just a bit at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So we're going to warm through the 20s, 30s, 40s, into the mid-50s, high temp of about 55 by tomorrow afternoon. Some mid and upper level clouds increase for us late in the day and then really thicken up for us tomorrow night. So cloudy skies into Wednesday morning. Temps into the mid-30s. We rise into the mid-40s by the noon hour on Wednesday, but look at the rain increasing. So we'll have just a cold rain. We'll drop back near 40 by Wednesday evening. As we go through the evening hours, we'll drop back into the mid-30s and we'll see rain switching over to snow. Our temperatures are going to stay above freezing the whole event. So if we had any accumulations, it would be mainly on the grassy surfaces. Plus the ground is pretty warm, but we could get some moderate pockets of snow into Thursday morning. And then this system will start to rotate out of here by Thursday afternoon. So if we had accumulations, and we'll see how this looks over the next 24 hours. I think most of us would be minor accumulations of under an inch. But our northern counties and western counties have the better shot to pick up amounts a little bit heavier as we head into Wednesday night and Thursday. So that's what we're going to focus on over the next couple days. 55 tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. 44 and rain Wednesday. That rain-snow mix into Thursday. We clear out for the weekend, but it stays kind of chilly.
It looks like we're getting close to the point where I need to start hibernating again, Doug. These temperatures are dropping.
Yeah, if you don't like the cold, you need to hibernate, I guess, for about 3 months.
3 months. Okay, I'll put that in my calendar. Doug, thank you so much. Well, coming up in sports, Neosho and Seneca face off in the opening night of the Carl Junction Girls Basketball Tournament. Plus, the COC League announces awards for the football season. And it's a whole lot of Webb City Cardinals.
Proudly
Tonight is the opening night of the Carl Junction Girls Basketball Tournament. In the first round this evening, Neosho and Seneca square off for a spot in the semifinals. Now these two teams, they played just last week. Wildcats won that one by 5 to get to 2-0 on the year. Early on, Olivia Hickson opened in the corner. She had 18 tonight. Other end, Parker Long goes off the window from deep. Neosho, though, pretty good first half sharing the ball. Michelle Lindsay, great look to Bailey Bowers. Bowers scores and the foul. And then it's Rain Harris. Another nice pass to a cutting Reagan McInturf. Wildcats lead by 7 at the break. To the fourth now, Seneca sticking around. Aaliyah Grosjean with the steal. That makes it a 3-point game there. But Neosho closes it out. Bowers behind everybody for the easy 2. Wildcats top Seneca for the second time in a week, 52-44.
I told the girls before the game, I mean, I've done this for quite a while now, and anytime you got to play a team, turn around and play them a week later, you know, it's always tough. Didn't defend as well as I would have liked to have. We didn't rebound great, but we rebounded a heck of a lot better than we did the last time we played them.
After that one, it's Joplin aiming for a 3-0 start against McDonald County in round 1. Sam Smith turning and scoring off the glass. Mustangs out to an early 4-point lead. The Eagles respond in a big way off the inbound. Izzy Eust, corner 3. Joplin up 4 after 1. And McDonald County closed that lead in the second. Sydney Killian straight to the rim. We're tied at 15 at half. Third quarter now. Ella Hafer, she made a few plays here. Jumper goes down for Hafer. It's a 3-point lead after 3. Now Hafer also making plays on defense. It's one of the hardest blocks I've seen. Joplin now 3-0. Eagles win at 34-25. The final game of the night. Got a good matchup here. Tournament host CJ facing Nevada. That one's at halftime right now, all tied up at 28. The winner gets Joplin in the tournament semifinals tomorrow night. Well, the Webb City Cardinals sweep the COC League Football Awards this season. Running back Devin Weathers is the COC Offensive Player of the Year. He rushed for more than 1,700 yards, added 28 touchdowns this season. Tragan Parker is the league's Defensive Player of the Year. Missouri Southern baseball commit had 6 interceptions this season, 3 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. Now, the COC Coach of the Year, that guy right there, John Roderick. Listen to this. He's now 298 and 28 in 24 years with the Cardinals. You can check out the complete all COC League honors in this story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The Kansas City Chiefs got by Tampa Bay on Sunday night, 24-21. And with that win, KC is now 10-1 this season. Now the Chiefs' offense, as usual, pretty good on Sunday. Patrick Mahomes threw for 462 yards and 2 scores. Tyreek Hill was the story of the day, though. He had a career-high 269 yards receiving with 3 scores on 13 catches. Really, he just did whatever he wanted against the Bucs secondary.
I don't think it was necessarily a matchup, but it was man coverage with no one over the top, and so we don't get that a lot, especially with that guy and his ability. And whenever we do, we try to take advantage of it.
The Chiefs are back on the field this Sunday night, hosting the AFC West rival Denver Broncos. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Tensions are rising in the Middle East. Iran is pointing the finger, saying it knows who assassinated its top nuclear scientist, and Tehran is seeking revenge. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has more.
The scientist who founded Iran's nuclear program is dead. Mohsen Fakhrizadeh was laid to rest Monday. Iranian officials say he was ambushed and killed Friday outside Tehran, part of a plot by a team where machine guns and a vehicle wired to self-destruct were used. and they are blaming Israel.
There is a campaign here that the Israelis are conducting below the level of conflict to clearly slow down the Iranians' pursuit of a nuclear weapon.
An Iranian newspaper wants the regime to target one of Israel's largest cities, Haifa, seeking revenge. Tehran claims Israeli markings were found on a weapon. Iran's leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is also calling for retaliation.
They have to do something, right? Because they'll feel that their national pride is at stake. But what will they do? The Iranians will do something. My guess is they won't be able to escalate it in any great way.
All this bringing up questions about what President-elect Joe Biden would do with the Iran nuclear deal, which President Trump withdrew from. Fox News senior strategic analyst Jack Keane says the Biden administration may want to look at reformulating the agreement.
A permanent prohibition of nuclear weapons, unequivocally stated in the deal. A permanent prohibition of ballistic missile development, permanently stated in the deal. Anywhere, anytime inspections.
Israel has denied involvement in the assassination, but did put its embassies on high alert. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Up next, Lonely No More.
The world's loneliest elephant gets a new home and a new family. I'm Amy Kellogg, and I'll have that story coming up.
The world's loneliest elephant won't be alone much longer. The pachyderm arrived in Cambodia today and is being taken to his new home to meet his new family, all with a little help from an iconic singer. Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Amy Kellogg has the story.
It's a homecoming years in the making. Kavan, who's been dubbed the world's loneliest elephant, is safely in Cambodia, his new home after a long journey.
There he will be with other elephants. He will be with other Asiatic female elephants. He will have finally a family after all this years.
The 36-year-old pachyderm spent most of his life chained up in a Pakistani zoo, which was ordered to close in August because of poor conditions. Veterinarians diagnosing Kavan as both overweight and malnourished. He also suffers behavioral issues due to his isolation after the heartbreaking loss of his partner in 2012. For years, animal activists have been lobbying for his relocation, and on Sunday, Kavan finally made the mammoth journey to a sanctuary in Cambodia. Four Paws International facilitated the $400,000 mission. He didn't just have to pack his trunk. The elephant lost 1,000 pounds in 3 months to make the big trip. It took several hours to load Kavan into a specialized crate, and like any traveler, he had to take a COVID test before boarding the plane. It's amazing. Waiting for him when he landed, legendary entertainer Cher, who's been a fierce advocate of the elephant. She met with Pakistan's Prime Minister to lend her support to the cause of his relocation. Kavan's new home is a 25,000-acre sanctuary in northwestern Cambodia, where the world's loneliest elephant will enjoy the company of his new family. Cher is also planning to visit Kavan in his new home later this week. In Florence, Italy, Amy Kellogg, Fox News.
Well, he's no longer singing Song for the Lonely. Instead, he's singing The Way of Love. That's our time for now. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll leave you with more video of the Pittsburgh Christmas Parade. We're going to do all this again tomorrow night. Have a great night.